Hey guys, welcome to the show. So a few days ago, one of our viewers, Quentin, sent me a very interesting article about a guy who put a brand new $45,000 Honda, a car, on his credit card. He paid for the whole thing with a credit card, and the article was basically discussing whether this is good value or not. So first of all, let's talk about what happened. So this guy, he had the United Explorer card, which earns United miles, and he phoned up the dealership and he asked if he could pay for the car with a credit card, okay? And they agreed to it. So he used his United card, which obviously had a credit limit of over $45,000, and he paid $45,000 for this brand new Honda. The dealership didn't give him any adjustment on the price, any discount. It was basically just the asking price of what they wanted, and he got 45,000 United points, which are worth about $675 in value, about 1.5 cents per point when used to book to book airline tickets. 1.5 cents was the valuation they gave in the article. Different people may have different valuations, but they were estimating the value of the points was about $675. And they did interview some people, some analysts in this article, who said that what he did didn't actually give him that great value. And I'll explain why. So obviously, when you pay for something with a credit card, the merchant pays merchant fees. Somewhere around 2%. Amex charges a bit more, like 3%, but he was using the United Mileage Explorer. I think it's a Visa. It's from Chase. It's a Chase card. So it's around 2%, maybe even a little bit lower. I'm not sure. But if it is, let's work on, say it's 2%, okay? So a $45,000 car, 1% of 45,000 is going to be 450, okay? So 2%, 2 times 450 is 900. So the merchant actually is going to be paying $900 in merchant fees for using a credit card. So basically that leads me to think that if you offered to pay the merchant in a check, usually it would have to be a cashier's check from the bank, where you actually go to the bank and they give you this big, very official looking cashier's check that's guaranteed by your bank, which, it gives a guarantee to the dealership the check's not going to bounce. And that, doesn't have this fees associated with it. So the merchant, in this case the car dealership, is not going to lose $900. So potentially you may be able to get a discount by the fact that you're not paying with a credit card, you're paying by check. So they're not going to have to lose $900. And guess what? $900 is more than $675, the value of the points that he got. So potentially, if he could, bargain with them and say, hey, I'll pay the whole thing by check. Could you give me a discount? Could you knock off $1,000 or $900 off the price? It's actually very realistic that this could happen. And I'm speaking from personal experience with this. So my car is the 2014 Ford Fusion. I bought it back at the end of 2015, and it's a great car. I love it. I bought it secondhand. It was about a year old when I bought it, but in great condition. I love the interior on it. It's got that light leather interior. It's really cool. And the dealer who I bought it off would only let me pay a deposit of $2,500 on a credit card. And he wanted a cashier's check from my bank for the remaining balance. And I'll tell you why I think this was. It's because I had already haggled down the price quite a bit. I actually got him to knock off around $1,000 off of the price. So it was a second-hand car. He'd advertised it for around $16,000. When I told him, yeah, I'll take it, he said, okay, the price is $16,000, but then we've got this $400 for transferring the title to your name and all this like administrative stuff. And then in addition to that, our dealership has done $1,000 worth of work on your car. We've changed the oil filter, we've done alignment of the wheels, we've done full detailing, shampooed the carpets, all that. And the consumer price for that would be $1,000, but actually, of course, it didn't cost them $1,000. They probably cost them like, I don't know, 200 maximum, because they're just paying the price for the labor. So it would definitely be much less than $1,000. The dealer was very nice, but we wanted a good price. So I was talking with my buddy who I'd brought with me, and he was an experienced salesman, and we basically came up with the strategy to call his bluff, and we just sort of pretended that, all right, that's all the money we've got, and we're gonna have to leave. We won't buy it. Sorry, man. And in the end, the dealer, he went off, had a coffee, thought about it for a while, and he came back to us and said, all right, I'll wipe that $1,000 off the price. And so, you know, we got a discount of $1,000, but he said I could only pay $2,500 with a credit card, and the rest I had to get a, you know, certified cashier's check from my bank to give to him, because obviously the dealership then wouldn't have to lose out on those merchant fees. And even though it's a small percentage, like 2%, it really adds up when you're talking like $15,000 or something like that. And actually that friend of mine, he bought a brand new Mazda, and he also bargained on the price. And I think his was like maybe $27,000, and he bargained them down to, I think perhaps it was $25,000. I know he got a discount of $1,000 or $2,000 off of a brand new car. So that's a very similar situation to the gentleman who bought the $45,000 Honda, but he paid full price for it with a credit card. If he'd paid with a check, cashier's check from the bank, he may have been able to get a discount of $1,000 or $2,000. So guys, that kind of shows you that, you know, although we sort of have the logic of, you know, pay for as much stuff as you can on a credit card, that's certainly true for you know, everyday spending, as long as you're paying it back each month, of course. We always advocate being responsible. But when you're talking about large purchases like this, there may be other opportunities to get a discount if you don't use a credit card. So sometimes you just got to think about these things a little bit more, and then the money you save by not using a credit card, you can then spend on whatever you would have spent those credit card points on, and you might actually be getting better value. So yeah, sometimes you got to kind of look outside the box and think about these things a little bit more. Thanks very much to Quentin, our viewer who sent that to me. It was a very interesting article, really enjoyed reading it. If you guys have interesting things like this, please leave them in a comment or send me a message on Facebook. We're at facebook.com/thecreditshifu. As always, guys, comment below, let me know what you think about this video, and please subscribe if you're new, give this video a like. We'll see you next time. Bye.